Okay, it should be good. Okay, so what did he say?
There's 8 stages throughout development.
There's 8 stages throughout development, right? Who did he base his theories on?
His own children.
His own. As Piaget, I based my theories on my own children and my interactions with them. Did I work with videotape? Yes or no?
No.
So how did I know what my children did?
You watched them?
I watched them very carefully. Oh, I see what you're doing over there. I watched them very carefully and I wrote down everything that they did. And as I wrote those things down, I was able to see things that people did not see. Right? Okay, so Piaget was able to take his unique understanding of children and help us to gain some new insights. And there are really 3, I want you guys to write down 3 big insights that we still use from Piaget today. And I want you to see is as we go through these experiments, maybe if you can guess even what those insights may be. Okay, so we're going to start off today with something called dual representation. I want you guys to write that down. Can I use this for 1 second, sugar? Okay, ready? Dual representation. All right, Eden. I want to play hide and go seek. Are you ready? Okay, so here's what you got to do. You got to go hide in the corner. Put your eyes in the corner. Come here. And I'm going to hide something in this room. Hide right there. Hide your eyes. Don't peek. No peeking. I'm going to hide something that you like. And we're going to see if we can figure it out. Mama's hiding something. We'll see, Edie Rose, if you can get it. Don't look, Eden. Okay. Okay, come here. Come here. I am going to draw, come here. I'm going to draw a map for you. All right. So I'm going to draw a map of this classroom. Come here for a second. Okay? So, here's some tables. Look, here's a table right here. And here's a table right here. And I hid one of your toys. Okay? Here's another table right here. Not doing a perfect job. And then here's something that's got 2 tiers, and it's got a blue curtain, and it's got another curtain. Okay. A little challenging to draw, but I'll show you guys in just a minute. Okay, here's another table, and here's the back cabinets that are yellow. Okay, now I hid Kylan. Your favorite doll, the one you wanted to bring today because you wanted it at the fair and you thought it was really cool. So let me draw her. So here's her little body. Okay, here's Kylan. Here's her pigtails, and here's her pigtails. Let's see if you can figure out. Here's Kylan. Okay? Did you say it looks just like her? That's overly generous. Okay, not really. Okay, so I hid Kylan. Now, here we are. Here's the tables and here's the chairs. Okay? Let's see if you can figure out where she's at. Is she under, look at this. This is the map. Remember, when did we use this before? Let's see if you can remember. Did we use this with your Easter basket? Yeah. Okay. Is she under the tables? Look at the map. Remember about not being shy. Come on. Is she under the tables? No. Where's she at? She's in something that has curtains. They're blue. It's blue. And it's got like a reddish curtain. Can you find her? Let's see if you can find her. Go ahead. Are you being shy? All right, I'm going to leave this right here. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that you can find her when you're ready. But you don't have to do it right this minute. Okay, so under dual representation, it's easy. Well, then go find her. Under dual representation, I want you guys to think about this for a second. If you're an infant and you see this piece of paper, what do you think it is? If you're an infant.
The room? The actual room? Something to eat?
Right. What do you see this as? A piece of what?
food.
It's a piece of paper. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything to you. It's a piece of paper. But one of the things that Piaget noticed is as kids get older, they see it as more than that. It becomes symbolic. So I want you guys to write down that objects are able to take on symbolism. Okay, so think about a map itself. The map is pretty symbolic. Go ahead. I know you can find it. Go ahead. You're inching when you're over there. All right, so the symbolism of this is that does this just represent a yellow piece of paper with a drawing on it? No, but it represents what?
A location of something.
Aha, I think she found it. What'd you find, Eden? Did you find Kylan? You did, yes, you found Kylan. So it actually gives us a symbol of something else. And that symbolism, if you think about how important is that to you as an adult? In order to read, you have to understand dual representation, right? Because the letters have to be more than just a printed, there you go. Ooh, good job. You got it. Good job. You passed your first test. All right. So that's dual representation. So this is very important. This starts happening in preschool. And it's important now. Think about again, why is it important to us as preschool teachers? Why? Why is it important
If it's
to us?
not happening, something would be wrong.
That's right. If it wasn't happening, something would be wrong. And what if you're little? How many of you guys have seen teaching your baby to read? Okay. Is that appropriate?
Oh, baby? No, not a baby.
Why? Or teaching your infant or toddler to read?
Oh, they're not
They don't know
ready.
what the letters are yet.
Think about for a second what we learned about the screen. Remember we talked about television deficiency? That when infants actually see something on a screen, do they understand its symbolic nature?
No.
Not yet. So think about what happens when we put infants in front of televisions or in front of screens or in front of things that are dual representation. It is not the actual physical object and they're not able to interact with it. So mentally, they're not ready for it. So I think that's a really interesting piece of what he did. Okay, so here's the next thing we're going to do. All right, Eden. Now I think this is a pretty advanced concept. The idea here is something called egocentrism. What does ego mean? You guys know this. What's ego?
Sense of self?
All right, it's about your ego. All right, well, if somebody has a big ego,
Yeah, when they
right, we
think,
say, well,
yeah.
you got a big head. Actually, this is kind of high. We're going to get the piano bench. We'll pull that over. Okay, Eden, what do we need to go in here? What will go in here? What do you think will go in here? In this dollhouse, what will go in here? Something we use all the time. What is it? What will go in here, huh? We're going to put some furniture in here. Okay, so as human beings, are we pretty egocentric?
Right.
Yeah, we are. We're really interested in ourselves, let's be honest here, right? We like ourselves, we're interested in what we're interested in. We find our kids fascinating. This is very evident in it as we age and we just want to tell people about our ailments, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with us? How we're sick, right? About our grandkids or whatever. It gets worse because we get less aware. Okay. So I'm going to put in, you want to help me put some stuff in? I'm going to put in, oh, look at this. What's this? Oh, what's in there? We got some clothes in there and some hangers, a little closet. So we're going to put the closet up there. And so this is now, how is a dollhouse a symbol, you guys?
So
How is
it's
a
like,
dollhouse a symbol?
like it's your house, then imitation.
Okay, right, so what does this stand for?
That would be like a
Fridge.
refrigerator.
Right. So it's not just a little tiny wooden object. What's inside of there? What's that? What do you want to say? What's that?
No?
Milk, right? Except in our house it would be coconut milk. My kids always pretend that this is funny. This was never a toaster, it was always a television.
Oh, it does look
Okay, so
like a
put
television.
that over there. Okay, so we've got the refrigerator. Ooh, what else do we need? Here, for a baby, would we need that? Yeah, we would need that one. And then we'll put up a table, right? We're gonna put that downstairs? Okay. All right, so we are gonna use, do you wanna use hydrangea for this one, or do you wanna use Isabel for this one? Which one? Hydrangea or Isabel? Which one? You wanna use hydrangea? Okay, we're gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna take 2 pictures. And I am gonna have Isabel stand over here. Okay, ready? You stand over there on that side. Okay? We'll see if you can do this. Stand over there on that side. Let me see let me see hydrangea. Cat. Okay, ready? She's gonna come over here. Okay, so she is right there. And we're going to take a picture. And then you're over here. Okay, where are you looking? Let me see. Okay, ready? Oops. Okay, let's see. Move out of the way, sugar. Let me see. Ready? 3. You gotta move for a sec. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Do you want to push the picture for me? Want to push the button? Okay. I'll push the button. All right, 3, 2, 1, and... Okay. So now, Eden, I'm going to put these 2 pictures up on my screen. Piaget's experiment was actually done a little differently. Let's see if you guys know. What did he use? What did he use? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to remind you that you can register for classes for both summer and fall quarter. Yes, I said fall. We want to make sure that the current students have priority over classes for fall because we're going to start new student orientation starting next week. So if you have not already done so, please register for classes. And this week, instead of being in the student center, it will be in the academic office. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're loading the pictures. Let's see. Okay, Eden, I am going to show you 2 pictures. And I'm looking for ones that are most recent. Okay. Here's this picture. And here is, oh, I should have done it a little differently. And here's this picture. Okay, actually I gotta do it like this. Did you take the cat back? Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. See if you guys can figure out what I'm doing. I'm doing the remountain experiment. Remember Piaget's famous 3 mountain experiment? Okay, so I'm trying to, let's see if we can get Eden to do this. Okay, so and this is an example of, this is an example of egocentrism. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay. Now, Eden, do you remember where you were standing when we looked? When you were looking at the dollhouse? Would you hit one of the lights for me, Jocelyn? Okay. We will go and put this on. I want to try and get these to go side by side. So let's go here to Office, and let's go to Word. Okay, Eden, so I'm going to put 2 pictures right next to each other, and you're going to figure out one of the pictures shows what you were looking at, and one of the pictures shows what Hydrangea was looking at. Okay, so I want you to decide. Sorry, let me do it. That's okay. Okay, where's that? Okay, Eden. Ready? Okay. Were you looking at this picture? Okay. Were you looking at that picture, or were you looking at this picture? Sit on Mom's lap. Let's see if you can figure it out. Were you looking at this one? Now think about where you were when you were looking at the dollhouse. Or were you looking at this one? Which one were you looking at? That one? Or this one? What do you think? Who was looking at, well, I'll ask you, who was looking at this one? Hydrangea Cat or you? Which one? Who? You were looking at that one? Okay. All right, that's good. And then let's see about Hydrangea Cat. Let's see. Was Hydrangea Cat looking at this one? Or were you looking at this one? Who? Who was it? The cat or you? Which one? I'm about not being shy. Which one do you think it was? You want to think about it for a minute? Okay. All right. You're not sure? You're thinking? Okay. So, which one was she looking at?
That one.
Right. And which one was the cat looking at?
The other one.
Okay, so look at in your book on the part about the 3 mountains. Okay, so this is one of the things that Piaget said is that because preschoolers are in pre-operational, right? They are unable to take somebody else's perspective. So they're egocentric and they have animistic thinking. One of the things, and it's funny that she picked this, we have is Hydrangea Cat. And one night Hydrangea Cat was outside on the trampoline. And what do you think was happening at bedtime? Right? Why? Because their cat is going to get what? Wet and cold and needed to come. You know, we have our own mangy house cat that we very frequently leave outside, and he's perfectly fine. But she was really worried that this cat, something was going to happen to this cat. So again, if you're thinking about pre-operational thought, what does that tell you about preschoolers? Are they able to take somebody else's perspective? No. Not so much. Why? Because they see everything from whose perspective?
Their own.
Their own. So if you look at that, they did the same. Piaget did a very similar experiment. He used the 3 mountains and a doll, and he asked what is the view that the doll sees, and what is the view that you see, and he showed them photographs, and most of the time they said that the doll saw their own perspective. They weren't able to see, like Eden did. She said that Hydrangea saw her perspective. They weren't able to identify whose perspective was whose. They just both saw them. Okay. So let's move on. The next thing I want you guys to write down is conservation, okay? So we'll do some of the conservation experiments, see if this works. All right, I'm going to hit those lights. We're going to play those in just a minute, Ian. Okay, let's do some conservation. Okay. Let's see, we're going to need pennies. We're going to need chopsticks. Is the Play-Doh in that one? Okay. This, we have a little coin. Okay. Alright, come here. Put some in my lap. Get the Play-Doh. Bring it to Mom. Bring me the Play-Doh. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start with conservation, and we'll start off with the number 1. Come here. Okay. And, you know, one of the cool things you can do is redo these experiments at home to see with the children that you're working with. And what's funny is sometimes what you'll find is they're in pre-operational stages with some tasks, and then what's the next stage up from pre-operational? See if you guys can figure it out. What's the next stage up?
Operational?
Nope. From pre-operational, it goes, and that's a good guess. Good job.
I knew it was wrong. I know there has to be one before that, but.
That's okay. What does it go to? Starts with a C.
Coal?
Concrete. Good. Concrete operations. Okay. So let's do the number 1 first. Okay? All right, Eden. Let's put this to the side for just a second, then you can play with those. Okay. So here we go. Ready? Let's see if we have, let's put these in a line. So we have some checkers, and we're going to put them in a line. Here we go. Okay. And I want you to tell me, are there more white ones, more brown ones? Are they equal? What do you think? More white ones, more brown ones are equal. You have to say something. Go ahead. You have to be brave. Go on. You can do it. What do you think?
The same.
The same. Very good. Now watch this. Ready? Here I go. Oh my gosh, look what I'm doing. Okay, so now, are there more brown, more white, or are they the same? What do you think? Tell me what you think.
Brown.
More brown. Okay? More brown. So when I do this, same? And then when I do this, more what?
Brown.
More brown. Okay, very good. Pre-operational. Okay, want to put all those in? Put all those in for me. Good job. Okay, we're going to do another one with, ooh, look at these guys. You're doing a good job. Okay, here we go. Where do we get these from? Do you remember? You don't? I think, are these Ezekiel's? I think they are Ezekiel's. I think he got these from Chinese class. Okay, so let's look at these 2 sticks. Now, are they the same or is one bigger? What do you think?
Not the same.
You don't think they're the same? Which one do you think is bigger? Okay, let's measure them. Let's stand them up next to each other. They look the same, don't you think? Okay, they're the same. Now watch what I'm going to do. Are you ready? I'm going to change them a little bit. I'm going to transform them. Ready? Ooh, look at that. Okay, which one is bigger, or are they the same? That one's bigger. Okay, not the same. All right, so that one is length. Another fun one to try to see where a child is at, pre-operational or concrete operations. Okay, so we're moving on to mass. You guys ready? Okay. This is another really famous one he did with clay. We have a new invention of Play-Doh, right? So you're going to tell me, Eden, are these, I'm going to try and make these into circles, okay? Into balls. All right? Now, what do you think? Is this the same or is one bigger? Can you tell me if there's one that's bigger and like how I need to change them? What do you think?
One's bigger.
Which one's bigger? Show me. That one seems bigger to you? Okay. Can you make them the same? Do I need to take some from here and put it over here? Or, okay. Or take some from here. All right, I'll take a little bit from here and put it over here. Now, are they the same or are they different? They're different? Is one bigger? That one still seems bigger? Okay, I'll take a little bit from there and put it over there. Okay, now are they the same? They're still not the same? Not doing so well, huh? Are they the same? Show me, which one's different? Why? Is it bigger, smaller? What is it?
Bigger.
It's bigger still? Okay, we'll put this over here. Okay, so now are they starting to look the same to you? Now are they now they're the same. Okay, ready? So now I'm going to, let's squish one flat. Which one do you want to squish? Which one? This one flat? Okay, squish it. Okay, squish it flat. Got it? Okay, so now which one's bigger? That one's bigger. They're not the same. Okay? That's mass. You want to hold that and play with that for a minute? Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the famous one with liquid. And what's funny is that some of you have the exact same problem I'm about to demonstrate. So they say, it's funny, they said that with conservation of liquid, that college students struggled the most. So maybe you guys are actually in pre-operational stage. Does anybody ever find when they're trying to put leftovers away, they struggle?
Yes.
To kind of, like you get the wrong container?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that's your spatial intelligence? And that is actually measured as a piece of your intelligence. So maybe you are not Tupperware smart. Okay, sit over here. You sit here for a second. I'm going to get some water, okay? We're going to do, okay, so liquid one, very famous, very easy one to review with kids to see. And we're going to, I will show it to you. We can do this. This is a fun one to do at home. We're going to use some food coloring just so that it's more apparent. Okay, ready? You know, what color should we use? We've got blue, or we've got purple, or yellow. Which one? Which one? Purple. I knew you were going to say that. I like purple so much. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put some purple in here so you guys can all see. And I'm going to use those chopsticks to... How many of you are going to try some of these at home? Can you try them? Okay, if you try them and videotape yourself trying them, I will give you some extra credit. So, all right, if you come in and show it to me. Okay, so now you tell me. We're going to try and get those even. You tell me if you think they're the same. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Do those look the same to you? They look the same? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, so you agree those are the same. So we're going to let those calm down for just a second. Now, I'm going to transform. That's a big word. That means change. I'm going to change one. Which one do you think I should change? This one. Okay, ready? I'm going to take this big one. I'm going to put it into this. Okay, now, which one is bigger? Or are they the same? What? That one's what?
Bigger.
That one's bigger. They're not the same. Pre-operational. Okay. Let's do, okay, class inclusion. All right, so Piaget had a really famous one with flowers. What's another way that you could do that experiment? What would happen, do you think, if we kept doing more experiments? What? that you might catch on. Yeah, and I'm wondering, I was talking to Eden about some of the things I'm going to show you today, and I was asking her to you about some of them, and she was getting a little closer on some of them. And I think part of that is because the more training you have, the better you get at them. Wouldn't that make sense? And the more you do them. So you would have to change these up a little bit, try different things. Okay, so we're going to do one with flowers now. Turn on page 321. Very famous one, Eden. I'm going to make you some flowers. I'm going to cut these out. And then you're going to put them all in a pretty row. We like flowers, don't we, Eden? You actually named your cat after our favorite flower, didn't you? Hydrangea, yup. And Eden is named after a garden. And we have in our garden an Eden rose, don't we? A real Eden rose. You're my real Eden rose, but there's another kind of roses. They're big, huge, blush pink roses. They're beautiful. Okay, can you spread out these green ones for me? There's a whole bunch there. Can you spread them out for me? Spread them out all over the table, okay? And then I'll do some orange ones. So he actually did his flowers. Yep, spread those all the way out. Let's see how many Mommy just cut. He did his experiment. Instead of doing them with green and orange, he actually did yellow and blue. But the same basic concept. And what he's trying to demonstrate here is that they have some sense of categorization. And I'm going to show you with a follow-up experiment how this idea was actually challenged. But Piaget called this, he didn't call this categorization, he called it class inclusion. Okay, so and then there's some orange ones too. Okay, so we've got some green ones and we've got some orange ones. Good job, you're spreading those all out. I'll spread out the orange ones, okay? Yep. Let's see. Here's the orange ones and there's the green ones. Okay. There's a couple more. All right, can everybody see this? Can you guys see? Okay. You putting out all those green ones, Eden? Let's put the orange ones. You're going to put them out. Here, let's put all the green ones over here so you can see them all kind of in a row. Because that's important, right? Okay. So you tell me, you're doing well, but you're fine. Just spread them all out. All right, good job. Perfect. Are there more? Keep putting them over here. Are there more green flowers or orange flowers? Green, more green ones. Okay. Are there more orange flowers or flowers? More what?
Green.
More green flowers, okay. But are there more orange flowers or flowers? What do you think? All right, is this one a flower? Is the orange one a flower? Is the green one a flower? Okay, so they're all flowers, right? Right? Okay, so let's count and see how many flowers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Should I stop counting or should I keep counting?
Just keep
I should keep counting. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So there are 23 flowers. Oh, it's okay. I got them. Are there more? They're not going to spill. I'll put them in here. Okay, so 23 flowers. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Okay. All right, 23 flowers altogether. Let's count the orange ones. Can you count them yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
1,
Uh-huh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so 8 orange flowers and 23 flowers. Are there more orange flowers or flowers? What do you think? More green ones? Okay. Got it? Good. All right, so that was how Piaget measured class inclusion. Okay, so that's important to write down. Class inclusion was the idea that children had a difficult time separating things into categories because they tended to view things very holistically. Yeah? You're hungry? Okay, there's a snack in that pink bag. Can you go get that snack? Go ahead. Okay, so let's look at some follow-up research, though, about what we found later with Piaget's research. Okay, so now, and this is really, I think this is so inventive, what he did. Okay, Eden, where's those little dollhouse people that we got today? Remember, where's the little dollhouse people we brought today? We brought so many things, didn't we? It's hard to kind of keep everything, track of everything. Oh, over here. Okay, so we brought these little dollhouse people. I'm going to show you. So later researchers said that PJ got some things right and he got some things wrong. Okay, here we go. Okay. So here's one of the little mamas from Eden's dollhouse set, right? And Eden, what's this? That. Okay. Is this a big shoe or a little shoe?
Big one.
You think it's a big shoe? Look at Mama's shoe. Is it a big shoe or a little shoe?
A big one.
This is a big shoe? Okay. Is this shoe going to fit on this doll? No, why?
Confused.
What?
Confused little.
Because she's little? Okay, so even though this is a smaller shoe, wait, shouldn't a small shoe fit on this guy? Should it fit on? Well, is it going to fit? No. So in order for Eden to tell us that this shoe is not going to fit this animal, what does she have to be able to do? Let's see if you guys can figure it out.
Sizes?
Mm-mm.
Say the question again.
No, remember what he said about taking people's perspectives? Remember what he said with the 3 mountain task? Right. Whose perspective is she taking?
It's a little.
Right. So why do they think that she can do this, but she couldn't do that?
Because that's a picture. She's actually holding on to it.
Okay, all right. Why else do you think? I agree. I think that's part of it. Yeah, absolutely. That this is a concrete object and it's easier with a concrete object. But why else? Why are they able to do this but they can't do that?
Because they could measure memory is not.
Okay, what do you think Eden has more experience with? Looking at photographs or trying things on? Right. That seemed almost kind of foolish when I asked her, would this fit, right? Because you have a sense that she's done what? She's right. Didn't you do that when you were little? Try a bunch of stuff on and work with different sizes and probably from the time you were an infant, right? So is it truly that we're totally egocentric and it's why we can't take somebody else's perspective? Or is it just how much experience we have with things?
How much experience.
Right. So that's one of the ways that researchers look now at Piaget's work is that maybe some of the tasks he made, like his 3 mountain task, was just too difficult, too different from the normal experiences that we have in life. Okay? Okay. Oh, these are really good ones. Ready? I have these 2 bag Edens. 2 bags. And I'm going to use my magic powers. Does Mommy have magic powers? Do I? I don't? Well, I have these 2 bags. And look, I'm going to put in the 2 bags, I'm going to put different stuff. In one of the bags, okay, we're going to use that sugar in just a minute. Okay. In one bag, I'm going to fill one bag with a puppy. Okay, are you ready? Okay, here I go. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, abracadabra, and I'm going to fill up one with a puppy. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I put a puppy in there, right? Okay, now look what I'm going to do. 3, 2, 1. Oh! There's a monster in here. There's a monster in here. Oh no! Okay, Eden, are you scared? Are you scared of the monster? Or do you want to pet the puppy? Which one? Is there a puppy in this bag? Yes or no? No. Is there a monster in this bag? Does Mommy have magic powers? Alright, so and that was another really important thing is that, Piaget said that preschoolers had this limited understanding of the real world, that if you told them that there was a monster, there would be a monster. If you said there was a puppy, they took everything literally. Is that true?
No.
No, before they have enough experience, they know that you're not going to create monsters. They even can figure out that money really doesn't grow on trees. Right. It was funny, I was watching her and her little girlfriend at the fair, and they had this little ducky game that went around where we won our lovely new plastic friend, which I was super pumped about. And it was $5 to win that. Yeah. And it was funny because I was watching Eden and I was watching her little friend Ella, and Eden played the game much earlier in the day, and she picked out her little rubber ducks and got a match and got her plastic doll, and then it was Ella's turn. And she asked me if she could play again, and I said, no, we're not going to spend any more money on that game. We already spent $5. And then I watched her, and she stood back. And she didn't try and grab the other ducks, or she didn't try and say, I want to do it right now. But she had an understanding by 4 that certain things are limited, like how many times you get to play a game at the fair, how much money you spend on different things. So there was already an understanding of that and the ability to grasp. Think about how abstract that is, right?
Yeah.
The idea of money. I mean, isn't money a symbol?
Right?
Right.
Doesn't it stand for something that's difficult to, I mean, we all get it, right? But I think that that's really important to understand, is that for when you're 2, you don't understand why you can't have the candy in the checkout.
Right.
Right, you're throwing that huge temper tantrum, but by the time you're 4, you get it. So in some ways, that's not pre-operational, but that would actually be concrete. Okay, now, Eden, we're gonna want to do this one for me too. Remember before we did the checkers? Come here. When we did the checkers? This time we're not gonna use so many. This time we're only gonna use 3, okay? 3 brown ones and 3 white ones. That's it, just 3. Okay, that's it, 3 of them. Okay, so you want to count them for me? Can you count each one? 1, 2,
3, 4,
5,
5,
6.
6.
And then how many brown ones are there?
3,
How many white ones are there?
3.
Okay, now watch this. Okay. Are there more brown ones or more white ones, or are they the same?
Brown.
There's still more brown ones? Okay, what if we did this? Okay, more brown ones or more white ones, or are they the same?
Same.
Okay, now, more brown ones or more white ones?
Brown.
Doesn't always work. But what they found with most is if you scaled conservation down and made it less, that they were able to keep track of that. Okay, so now we're actually going to add some sugar to the water. Okay, I'm going to go grab those cups again. Okay, Eden, so look what we're going to do now. Ready? We're going to do the same experiment. And we are going to... Do you like sugar? Let's get these the same. Okay. Now, we're going to get these the same. Okay, you like sugar, yes or no? Come on, you like it, right? How does sugar taste, Ede? How does it taste? Sweet. You like candy, you like sugar, yeah, a little bit. Okay, so here's some sugar. We're gonna put some sugar in here. Okay, so are these the same? This one's a little bit bigger. Okay, ready? Try and do this one for you. Both look about the same. Oh, not to you? Which one looks bigger? Yeah, I agree. I was hoping you didn't notice. How about now?
They're the same.
Now they're the same. Okay. So you want it, here, lick your finger and put in the sugar, like this. Watch. Put in the sugar and then touch it on your tongue. Go ahead.
That's gonna be bad when you get home.
It's gonna be better. Okay, ready? It's all our germs. It goes in the same spot. Here, open up. Go on, open it. It tastes like candy. Here. Here, try that. Oh. Sweet, right? Okay, watch. Here we go. We're gonna pour some of this in. You wanna help me? Want to pour? Okay, watch. I'm gonna pour it in. And then will you mix it for me? Because you help me cook sometimes?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, you know what? It's not warm. I should make it warm. Right? What's happening to it? Where's it going? I don't know if it will do it. If it's going everywhere. I should have made it really hot, right, you guys?
So to make it cloudy.
Okay, so if I made this really hot and it dissolved and it wasn't there, what could I do to have Eden tell me if they were different? Drink them, right? And then one is sweet and one is not sweet. So then I would ask Eden, oh, I think they're going somewhere. Okay, I think they're going somewhere. Where's it going? Nowhere. What's happening to it?
It's getting gone.
It's disappearing? Okay. Where'd it go?
It disappeared.
It disappeared? Oh boy. Okay, taste this one for me. Go ahead, taste that one. Taste it. Go ahead. All right, want me to taste it? You taste it. Go.
No.
No, taste this one. You'll like that one. It'll taste sweet. Go ahead.
No.
No, you're not gonna taste it? Okay, I'll taste it.
No.
Ooh, really sweet. You want to taste it?
No.
Go ahead, taste it. See if you can taste it. Well, good? You didn't like it? Okay. Well, where'd the sugar go? Does one have sugar and one just disappeared? Or are they the same? Or does one still have the sugar? What do you think?
They're the same.
Now they look the same to you? Okay, so what they found with this one typically, and you can see that Eden's still maybe in pre-operational stage in this one, is that a lot of kids were able to say, okay, because this is sweet, it still exists. So even though matter is changing, so think about how big of an idea this is for us, right? With ice, when it melts or when liquid changes form, and trying to get used to the fact that the mass still is there, or even with condensation, that when the water disappears, it's still in the air. So the idea that we can change liquids into different masses are huge, and the idea that even though a substance changes form, it continues to exist. You like that? Yeah, I know you would like that. All right, put that back in the bag. All right, so that's a follow-up on conservation, is that children do not think as illogically as Piaget initially said. So that's important to write down. Okay? Now, remember what they don't think as illogically as Piaget initially thought. That they do have logical processes to work things out. Okay, let's move on to class inclusion. Okay, so what if instead of saying class inclusion, we use the word category, right? We use categories. So now, Eden, I'm going to show you some different objects, and I want you,
You got something?
will you go grab it for me? Okay, I'm gonna put a couple different objects here. Class inclusion. We're going to move on. And really, the follow-up to class inclusion was that even though they weren't able to do, can you see how that task about flowers was challenging? Mm-hmm. Did you have to think about it for a second?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, right. Okay, so now what I'm going to ask Eden to do, though, is categorize some of the items that are on the table. Eden, can you pick out, I'm going to include a funny one, a couple of funny ones. Okay, Eden, so I want you to make two categories, two bunches. And one bunch, I want you to put everything that you can sit on. And the other bunch, I want you to put all the other stuff. So we're going to have two groups. One is full of things that you sit on, and one is pieces of furniture that you don't sit on. Okay, so let's start. What about this one? Do you sit on it? Okay. What about this one? Should it go over here or over here? Okay, move it over. To over there. You said it should go over there. Okay. What about this one? No. So put it over here. Okay, you don't sit on that one. What about this one? No, you don't sit on that one. Oh, we got some other items here. What about this one? Did you sit on that?
Yes.
Yes. Who sits in this? Baby sitting there. Okay. What about this one? Do you sit on that one? Yes, you do. You see we have all different kinds of objects, right? What about this one? It's a bookshelf. Do you sit on this one? No. What about this one? It's the shower. Do you sit in the shower?
No.
No. This one?
Yes.
Yes. Right? This one?
No.
Okay. Oh, and there's one thing in this group that's not right. Let's see if you can find it. There you go. All right, put it over there. Okay. Can they categorize?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And they can do all kinds of advanced categories. In fact, in your book, if you look at the boy on 323, he was actually sorting objects by what kind of dinosaurs they are. So knowing that a pterodactyl, even though it has wings and even though it flies, is not a bird because it's cold-blooded and it's a mammal. And a lot of that will depend on their experience with different objects and different categories. All right. Let's move on. I think that's it for Vygotsky. Okay, time for another pair of glasses. I'm gonna go teach you guys a different.
No, no, no.
Oh, actually, before I move on, let's talk about, okay, what are our 3 big ideas from Piaget? What are our 3 big ideas? What do you think we could take from all this work that Piaget did for us? And knowing that some things are not like he said, and actually there's a whole curriculum system built on Piaget. Whose curriculum system? See if you guys know. A whole curriculum model. Tamika might know. Which model? Which model uses the core? Come on. No, which model? That's not a model. Which one uses the core? You got it. You got it. Okay, so high scope is actually built on Piaget's ideas. Okay? So did Piaget think high scope is built on Piaget's ideas? Now, what was Piaget trying to show us, like with his class inclusion thing with the flowers? Was he trying to tell us, and this is really important, was he trying to tell us that we need to give kids more experience where they do things with these kinds of problems? Or do you think he was trying to show us that kids just aren't ready to make that leap? Those are 2 really different ideas. What was he trying to show us? Was he trying to show us that we should give kids more experience with doing these kinds of problems? Or was he trying to show us that kids just aren't ready to make these big leaps? Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, he was trying to show us both. He was saying that kids need chances to work with different, like pouring and experimenting. Yes, but perfect. But some of them aren't ready yet. In fact, in a high scope classroom, in the very earliest high scope classrooms, you know that's what all the preschool curriculum was? They would actually do these experiments. So they would have one station with a 3 mountain experiment. They'd have another station with like the class inclusion. They'd have another station over here where they would be pouring in mass and changing things and freezing stuff. Those were the earliest classes. Okay? So, but what are some, okay, so now for us as modern preschool teachers, are we going to do that? No. Are we just going to have kids sort things into groups? No. Well, we might have some categorization or sorting, but we're not going to just focus on Piaget's experiments, right? Right. One other important thing that Piaget really believed, can you throw that in the garbage for me? You are hungry. Is that we should never tell them how to solve these problems, but we should let them do what?
Let them figure it out.
Yes, and in a strict, has anybody ever been to a strict high scope environment? Okay, can you tell the kids how to solve a problem?
I got written up for that.
You absolutely would. Get written up for it. But tell them, I love the story. Tell me this, tell them the story.
One of my teachers was in dramatic play area, and in dramatic play you have to allow time. Mm-hmm. And she corrected one of the activities. I think it was they were imagining. I can't remember what it was. Mm-hmm. And then she corrected that imagination, and then she broke up the time. Uh-huh. So I got written up for that.
Like that wasn't appropriate.
Right.
Right. And really, I've had student teachers before. I remember I had one student teacher, and she was doing this observation, and the little boy brought over some tape. And he could not figure out how to make the tape dispenser work. You know how the tape gets, you lose it on the roll, and it's it's really hard to find it, right? Yeah. So he brings over the tape dispenser, and I'm watching this whole thing go down, and they are very high scope in their approach. They very much embrace Piaget's ideas about never telling kids how to solve problems. And so she is just wants to be just help with the tape, right? Just like, okay, take your fingernail, put it, you know. And she can't. And she's telling him, take your hand, feel around the tape. Do you feel a bump? Okay, and he has no idea what she's talking about. Wow. And so then the teacher comes over and kind of looks at her, and she can't say anything. She goes, keep trying, because he has to discover everything for himself.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to help scaffold the child? And
well, okay, that's where we're going to take on another pair of glasses. But if you're looking purely from Piaget's perspective, my glasses fell down. From Piaget's perspective, do you help? No. So the number one thing I want you to write down that we take from Piaget is discovery learning. We give kids a chance to play and operate with materials. This is very important. These are going to be the big ideas that are going to be on your essay exam. Discovery learning. Give them, thank you. He would say, give everyone a chance to discover for themselves. Okay?
I believe that discovery learning brings on a lot of anxiety for the children because it's a new environment and they're trying to explore it. But as an adult, I just feel that some things, you should be able to say, hey, this is how you feel. It's part of sensory. This is how the tape goes. Feel it right here, and this is where the line begins, and then you can find it. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Are you saying that I'm wrong, Miss Danielle?
No, I'm just saying,
Are you calling my theory a little crazy?
Theory needs adjustment.
It needs adjustment. All right.
Some of the anxiety that these little children have, like one of my, we were doing stacking the blocks.
Okay.
Stacking the blocks.
Okay.
Well, she wanted to do, stacking the blocks, but then she wanted to, what did she get upset about? She was stacking the blocks.
Okay.
And then what happened? What did she do? And I started to do it and throw the notes on her, but it just happened so fast. She just got so frustrated because when you were stacking them, they were stacking them high.
Right.
The other kids were stacking them.
Right.
She was stuck, and she just
knocked them
was
down.
like,
Okay. Actually,
I'm gonna do 3.
what curriculum model that we don't necessarily teach in this college has really embraced this idea of discovery learning? And actually,
Montessori.
you got it. Absolutely.
I was going to
Montessori.
say that
You
earlier,
don't-
but I wasn't sure.
No, you're absolutely
For
right.
the
And
high
it was-
scope, I was going to say, is it like Montessori?
It is, and Montessori really does. Well, but did Piaget come after Maria Montessori or before?
Before.
After.
Is it after?
Montessori's
Oh, wow.
right. Did her work in 1800.
Oh,
so really, really early. She was amazing. First female physician. I'd really
started out with special needs.
start off with special
Right.
needs. She's an amazing person, and I think an amazing curriculum model. But I do have to. There's one thing I would say. One way that I would agree with Piaget. I would, Mr. Piaget, is that when you earn it yourself, it's different.
Yeah.
It is different. It is different when you get it yourself. I mean, how many of you, like your parents tried to tell you to do well in school,
Yeah.
and it didn't click until you had to pay for it yourself?
Right. Oh, me.
Why?
Because it has value now.
challenge.
And now you make me crazy by emailing me when you get one wrong, right? I don't want to get any wrong. Where in high school it didn't matter so much, right?
Right.
But all of a sudden it's like, so I will say, so that's one thing to take from Piaget, is that really it does mean more. If the more you can let kids discover it on their own, the better it is. Okay, so the second thing that Piaget gives us is that are all kids at the same spot?
No.
So I want you guys to try these experiments with some kids you know, right? Will the results be the same as they were with Eden?
No.
Eden's 4. Some kids will already be in concrete. Some kids will be in pre-operational. Some kids won't be able to figure it out at all or to categorize. Yes, you can have a carrot. You want to have some dip too? Oh, you're hungry, aren't you? Okay. So be sensitive to where kids are at, right? Because kids are at different spots. Be sensitive to where they're at. Okay. So and then the last thing is that we need to respect the differences. Respect the differences. I kind of blended those last two things together. Let me separate them a little bit better for you. Okay. Be sensitive to readiness to learn. Not all kids are going to want to do all these different experiments on their own. One of the big things we got from Piaget too is the idea of centers, right? Mm-hmm. Letting kids kind of move around on their own and figure things out for themselves. Kids are interested more sometimes with numbers or more with letters, but letting them work on their own is an important piece that we took from him. And then, of course, respecting the different learning styles and where kids are at, the different spots that they're at. So those are the 3 big ideas. 1, discovery learning. 2, giving them choices about what to learn, and then 3, respecting differences. Okay, so let me go get a different pair of glasses, some slightly cooler ones. So, you ready for some more again? You want to wear your own glasses?
Kids down. Okay.
Okay, here we go. My name is Vygotsky, and I'm much cooler than Piaget. And I came after his work, and I added quite a lot of things I think you're going to enjoy today. Okay, so let's talk about, you be Piaget, I'll be Vygotsky. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things, some of the work, making a huge mess, that Vygotsky did. And the first thing I'm going to show you guys, I want to start off with a puzzle, okay? So one of the things that Piaget had said is he had
Very
said
cool.
that, how many of you talk to yourself?
all the time.
Oh, me, is that bad?
Why do you do that? Well, very interesting. Okay, so Piaget and
answer
Vygotsky
that.
actually viewed. Are you gonna be now? You're gonna be Vygotsky. I have to be Piaget. Well, you know, I think that kids talk to themselves because they're egocentric. They're just taking their own perspective. What about you, Mr. Vygotsky? What do you think? Now, Vygotsky would have actually said he viewed it a little differently. Why do you guys talk to yourselves?
Sort things out.
Yeah.
Who talks to themselves in the grocery store? Why is that? Or
Figure out what you need.
what about in math class? All right, right. In math class? Okay. All right, so let's do this puzzle. Want to do this puzzle? You want those glasses? Okay, those are cool ones. We're going to use those for information processing, but we can use them now. Okay, so let's do this puzzle together. Okay, how do you think we should do? Oh, you picked a really hard one, man. How do you think we should do? What should we do first when we're doing a puzzle? Very good. What'd you say? Flip them over. Okay, so we're going to flip them over. I think that's a good idea. Can I help you flip them over, or do you want to do it by yourself?
I need to help.
I'll help you. Okay. So we're flipping these over, right? And as we're flipping these, I'm making a big mess. But as we're flipping these over, we're maybe talking about what, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. What else do you think we should do?
Look at the.
Look at the picture. Do you think we should look at the picture? Does that help you guys? Yeah. Oh, who's on this picture? What are those of?
Horse.
Horses. And oh, I think it's maybe a mom and a baby. Okay, so what's the next thing that we should do? How else should we sort these puzzle pieces? What do we do? What else should we do maybe? Look for what? What do we usually look for?
The corners first.
The corners first. 1, 2. We got 2 of them. How many corners are there? 1.
2 more.
2 more. You got it, baby.
It's so
2 more.
interesting that you're doing that with her because when I worked in childcare, they would put puzzles out and the kids would just start randomly picking up pieces and putting them together. And I
Okay.
was like, how can you put those together without finding out where it all goes?
Okay. Why do we have a strategy like this? Like finding the corners first and then finding the edges. Why would we do that? Why would we do that with a child?
To make it.
What is Vygotsky saying? What's a better strategy, Tricia?
Well, it gives you a base where to start and somewhere to figure out how the picture's going to go together.
See, actually, I saw it a little bit different than Piaget because I felt like you're exactly right. If I come in and I give Eden a strategy, or I say, absolutely, let's look for the corners first, and we separate the edges first, we turn the pieces over first, we find the corners first, is she going to have a strategy that she can apply to other puzzles?
Yes.
Absolutely. So why not help her? Why not provide support that makes her more effective at doing puzzles?
Because I would always sit down and try and tell them, why don't you guys find the outside first and
Right.
then put it together from that.
Absolutely. So that's important. So write that down. Vygotsky gave us first guided participation. He said we needed
Another one.
another corner. You found another one? Okay, keep looking. We need to actively engage with children to scaffold their learning. So that's another important idea. Scaffold their learning. And he said that the more that we do that with our children, the more effective they become at problem solving. Would you agree that that's true?
Yes.
Okay, so which one's first? Only the corners first? How many did we find? 3? 1, 2, 3? We didn't find the fourth one yet? Okay. Well, we're going to keep working on this, and we're going to keep separating these out. Okay, so now one other thing. I want to talk for a minute. Hey, Eden, who picked out this puzzle today? You picked out the puzzle? Did I want maybe a different puzzle? I did, yeah. But you know what else you did? Is you brought that whole bag full of shoes, your princess shoes, right? You felt like that was important to bring, right? Should we show them all the shoes that are in there? And all your necklaces. She had to bring 4 necklaces plus her entire bag of princess shoes. So what do you think I said when I was already lugging all this stuff out the door this morning?
Do you really need that?
Right. I said, do you really need that? That's a lot for me to carry. And what do you think Eden said?
I do.
I need it.
She needs it. So what do you think I said back to that?
Okay.
Oh, you're going to carry it?
I said,
that's-
you can bring it if,
If you can carry it.
and she said, okay, Mama, I will. So she brought it to the car, and she got it in the car, and she brought it into this classroom, and she's going to bring it home, and she's going to put it back in her room. So that is actually something that's really important called intersubjectivity. So think back to egocentrism and being able to take another's perspective. And I just used an important concept that Vygotsky illustrated for us, intersubjectivity, okay? So what I did is I said to Eden, did I say, no, you cannot take them?
No.
Did I say, you have to carry them?
Yes.
Yes.
Did I, at first, say you have to carry them?
No.
No.
I explained to her that what?
She could take them.
I said, I don't want to take them because this is my perspective. This is how I feel. Then I asked her, how do you feel? And so through the art of negotiation, by asking Eden to take my perspective and being respectful of her perspective, what were we able to do?
Come to a compromise.
Is that important?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what did you guys used to hate when your parents did it when you were little? They used to say something and it would make you crazy. They would say, do it because...
I said so.
Right! Did it make you nuts?
Yes.
Okay, so why shouldn't we do that?
It doesn't.
Because it doesn't
It
help
make
you
it
do, and it doesn't
explain
help you
it.
Okay, so what does Vygotsky say we should do instead?
compromise.
Intersubjectivity. Help them to do what? Take what?
Someone else's perspective.
You got it. Take another person's perspective. So if you think about what Vygotsky's telling us, am I one cool dude or what? Right? He's telling us is that, I mean, isn't that not true?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in an argument with somebody and they're like, well, you can't feel like that.
Yeah.
You can't feel angry because I didn't mean to make you angry. How does that make you feel? What?
Crazy, because they don't know
They
how you
can
feel.
control how you feel.
Right, absolutely. So what we have to learn to do is we have to learn to take another's perspective.
Right.
We have to ask them to take our perspective and reach a compromise. Okay? And so when we do that, we're respecting children. They learn to respect our perspectives, and we're able to get a much quicker balance between us, right? So think about how Vygotsky brought us that. Okay, so which perspective are you guys going to take?
Right now, I got.
Right now you're taking... Well, what, can you not take anything from my work, for God's sake? I mean, I'm very famous. What can you take from me? What do you take from Piaget? Okay, discovery learning, right? But
Let
that's
them do it
important.
on their own.
Right. And from me, what can you take
Help
from
them
me?
do it.
Right,
Help them
right. To
discover
provide
it.
guidance, right?
Provide
Take
a
the
little bit of guidance.
absolutely,
Don't do
the
it for
guiding,
'em, but-
the scaffolding, right? And then I think intersubjectivity is one of the most awesome things that you can take. Is that when you negotiate with a child, don't think of it. Some parents say, well, "I'm not negotiating with you. You're going to listen to me. You're going to do what I say, right?" What does that do for kids?
They can't problem solve.
It
because
shuts
they
them
don't-
down,
yeah.
right? Do they feel respected?
No.
Did you feel respected when you were a child?
No.
Some adults think for some reason that kids have no feelings.
Yes.
That they don't have any feelings, they don't have any emotions, they don't need respect. And so that lack of respect and that lack of understanding leads to a lot of conflicts in classrooms and a lot of meltdowns in classrooms. So thinking about being able to take somebody else's perspective. Okay. So let's do, all right, we got another one. We're making a huge mess. Let's put this away. Okay, information processing. Here's the last one we're going to take for today. Information processing, okay? Okay, so basically, parents who help, this is important. Let's talk about attention for a minute. Parents who help children, are you all right? Did you fall? Pay attention are more cognitively mature by 4. That's important to know.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yep, parents and caregivers that help children sustain attention at tasks are more cognitively mature at 4. In fact, the single greatest indicator of cognitive maturity is the ability to sustain attention. Yep, parents who help children sustain attention are more cognitively mature at 4. You ready for this game? Okay, sit down. We're going to play a game called 10 Objects. Sit down. See if I can show. Okay. See, by the time kids are 4, they're beginning to expand their ability to use their memories.